we have started understanding the experiments by Faraday and Henry. So in first experiment, we have a coil and a galvanometer is attached to this coil and we were moving the magnet. And what we saw, a current was flowing in this coil when this magnet is moved. If magnet is moved much more fast, then current was more. If magnet movement is slow, current was less. Also, if we reverse the direction of this magnet, that means if we take it far or we change north with south pole, so direction of current will change. That we have understood. In the second part, what we have seen, we have changed this magnet with a simple coil that is connected to a battery. That means this coil is now producing some kind of magnetic field, and the current induced in this coil C1 is mainly dependent on the relative motion between these two coils. Either you move this or you move this one. So you will find some kind of current. In third part, what we saw? We saw that instead of this, we put a key here. So we are not moving any of these coil. What we have done? We have put a key here. So one important thing is that there must be some kind of change in the magnetic field. If there is no magnetic field change in magnetic field, there will be no current. Suppose this key is continuously pressed, so magnetic field will remain at B. It will not be changing. So how do we change that? We simply switch off the key. So as we switched off, magnetic field is changed to B. Or we suddenly press the key, magnetic field suddenly increases from 0 to B. So in this way, we are changing the magnetic field. That means changing magnetic field induces the current. Now let us come to another quantity, magnetic flux. So after understanding these three experiments, let us understand how these things work. What are the fundamental principles behind these things? However, we have studied and appreciate his laws. Faraday's law, we must get familiar with the notion of the magnetic flux. So first we have to understand magnetic flux. What is magnetic flux? To understand Faraday's law. So we have seen this magnetic flux, and you know this magnetic flux is this magnetic field into area. This we have learned. Similarly, we have seen the electric flux as well. But now we know this phi B is magnetic flux. Phi E is the electric flux. Magnetic flux is defined in the same way as electric flux we have defined in chapter 1. So it is very similar to electric flux. Magnetic flux through a plane of area A placed in a uniform magnetic field B. So let us see this thing. Again, if we go here, so we have this uniform magnetic field. So we have this uniform magnetic field. Previously we had an electric field, now we have some kind of magnetic field. So this is uniform magnetic field B, and this is an area. This is some area. This area makes some angle theta. So how do we define the vector direction of the area? Normal to this surface. So this is the direction of the magnetic field, and this is normal to this area. Normal to this area, and both of them make an angle theta. Again, how do we define the vector or direction of an area? We simply put a normal on that area. So this is the direction of this area. So a plane of area A, and direction is given as this, normal to this. This is the uniform magnetic field. Both are making an angle of theta. So now how the flux is defined? Flux is defined B dot A. Both are these in bold letters. That means these are vector quantities. So dot product is always cos theta. So BA cos theta. And theta we know what is that angle between B and A. So where theta is angle between B and A. Now if the magnetic field has different magnitudes and direction at various parts. So here we thought that there is uniform magnetic field. We have assumed that there is uniform magnetic field. What will happen if there is different magnetic field, or magnetic field is changing with distance, or this kind of magnetic field. So definitely this magnetic field is low here because there are less number of lines, high here because there are more lines in less area. So magnetic field is also changing from place to place. So what will happen in that case? In that case, if the magnetic field has different magnitudes and direction, so we saw that directions were different and magnitudes were also different at various parts of the surface. So if we have different magnitudes and different directions, then what will we do this in this equation? Then the magnetic flux through the surface, so what will we do? We will divide this surface in smaller area. We will divide this big surface in smaller area. So every area will contribute a smaller chunk, that means delta phi b, that means smaller part, small part from each of them, and at last what we do, we will summation of all of them, we will sum all of them. So this is how we get. So again this delta phi b is b into b1 into delta a1 or dA1, delta a1 or dA1, b2 into dA2 and so on. We keep on adding all the different parts and summation is all bi dAi. That means we have broken this into smaller parts and we are calculating this flux for individual part, then we are summing for all the parts, where all it stands for summation. So summation over all these parts. Now the SI unit of magnetic flux. So what is the SI unit of this magnetic flux? This is Weber. So what is the magnetic field? Unit of magnetic field is Tesla, you know, and what is the unit of area? SI, meter square. So this unit Tesla meter square is also called Weber or Tesla meter squared. So we have unit Tesla meter square or Weber. Magnetic flux is a scalar quantity. So again if you see, this is a dot product of two vector quantities, what we get? We get a scalar quantity. So magnetic flux is a scalar quantity. Also remember, sometimes in the exam it is asked what is a Weber equal to. This was asked in one of the pre-board exam, that what is the meaning of 1 Weber. So what is 1 Weber? 1 Weber is equal to 1 Tesla meter square. Okay, Weber is Tesla meter square. So remember this thing because it can be asked in exam. Now let us come to Faraday's law of induction. Faraday's law of induction. In this figure we see some area, there is an area, and there is some magnetic field, but this magnetic field as we see is not uniform. At this area it is high, at this area it is low, so this is not uniform magnet. So what we have done, we have broken this into small parts. So there is this small area dAi and field at this small area is Bi. Same thing as we have discussed, that we will break this bigger area into small area of segment dA and field at this area is Bi. Now magnetic field Bi at the ith area. So we have divided in I areas. Ith area element dAi represent the area vector of ith element. So this is small area. So magnetic field direction is this and normal to area is in this direction, and the angle is again theta. We can take angle to be theta, or we say this is simply this d phi b is equal to Bi dot dAi. This is we get. Now let us see what happens. Faraday arrived at conclusion that EMF is induced in a coil when magnetic flux through the coil changes with time. So this is important, that magnetic flux through coil changes with time. What is magnetic flux? That means line passing through some area. So that is called magnetic flux. So if that flux is changing with time, then we get some kind of EMF or current. What is EMF? If you remember that EMF is voltage. EMF is voltage when there is no resistance. When there is no resistance. So this voltage or EMF gives rise to a current. So how can this magnetic flux is changed? Suppose we have this magnet, bar magnet. So magnetic field lines are something like this. So when we bring something closer, so previously coil was here, so we have less number of lines, but as soon as we bring this closer or move magnet, so there are more number of lines, in this coil. So that means so area remains the same, area of the coil remains the same, but now there are more number of lines. So that means this magnetic field is changed. So total magnetic flux is changing with motion of the magnet or motion of the second coil or by tapping the key. So tapping the key, motion of magnet or motion of coil is changing the magnetic flux through the coil with time.